offering the product delivery and post-delivery services to the customer. Means here the retailer is involved in all stages of product activities from the designing of its product to delivering of the product to the customer, as well as the post-sale services is also done by the retailer only. Here the retailer is having a face-to-face interaction with their customers. So any organization wants to sell their products to the final customer, so they have to be depends on the retailer. Based on the retailer performance only, the marketer is going to be sell his products. For example, a farmer is going to be produce vegetables in the farm, and he may be sell these vegetables to the villagers. But the both manufacturer as well as the retailer alternatively is going to be sell the vegetables to a shopkeeper in the village, and the shopkeeper may sell to the villagers. So here you can understand the direct selling from the retail selling. So here a farmer is going to be sell his vegetables directly to the villagers, but whereas a shop marketer means here marketer is going to be use the shopkeeper as a means of distribution to sell his vegetables to the villagers. So this is the way of understanding the retailing. And here the retailer is going to perform certain functions ultimately. So what are those functions? As we are studied already in marketing, we have marketing functions, 4 P's of marketing. They are product, price, place, and promotion. Similarly, the retailer is also has to perform the wide range of marketing functions. Here also we can mention the retailer functions as also in the form of 4 P's. The first one is providing an assortment of products and services. So every retailer is going to be buy a wide variety of products from the wholesalers or manufacturers, and then he should provide that assortment to their customers. So the first P of the retailer function is providing an assortment of products and services by purchasing the product assortment from their retailers, wholesalers and marketers, and those product assortment need to be sold to his customers. So the same duty might be done by the kirana stores, retail malls or supermarkets, and the same. And the next P of this retail functions is breaking the bulk. So the manufacturer or the wholesaler typically ship their products in a large quantity. Why? Because the manufacturer may be sold some 100 tons or 1 ton, depends on the product characteristics. But whereas a retailer need to be break that bulk product into small pieces, and he has to sold to the customers according to their requirements. For example, a wholesaler may sell 100 kgs of the atta powder to the retailer. The retailer is going to be make it into as a 1 kg bags and is going to be sold to their customers. Why? Because the customer may not require the 100 kgs of atta powder at a time. So the retailer, another duty, another performance is the function is he has to break the bulk, and those divided products, those pieces of the products is going to be offered to their customers in smaller quantities, as which is going to be suit to the individual needs or family requirements according to their consumption patterns also. And the third function of the retailer is holding the inventory. So the retailers are going to be hold the inventory, means they are going to be purchase the bulk products from the wholesalers, and they are going to be make store in their shop for the purpose of selling those product assortments to their customers. Why? Because customers, when they come and ask about the products, we do not know. So in the process of satisfying the customers, is going to be break the bulk and make into the small pieces according to the consumer patterns or the family requirements, and hold it for a time period. And whenever customer asks about the product, then he is going to be make sale of the particular product. Till that time, it is the duty of the retailer to hold that products in the inventory as a stock. Then the fourth function of the retailer is financing the wholesaler. Means here, while booking orders for goods with the wholesaler, the retailer normally pays some percentage or whole of the order price to the wholesaler in advance. So here, the retailer is going to make some payment to the wholesaler, so that it is going to be help the wholesaler to carry his distribution operations in the supply chain very smoothly. If he do not pay any amount of money, and if suppose he kept a condition that when I sold the products, then only I will return the money, means it is become a difficult to the wholesaler to keep up his distribution operations and to conduct his distribution operations in a smooth manner. That's the reason the retailer is going to be help the wholesaler in other way by making a part payment or full payment while he make a order to purchase the bulk products. And apart from these also, he is also uh, performs some other functions like offering credit facilities to the customers. Instead of paying the part payment or the full payment to the wholesaler, at the same time, all the customers also may not have the some amount of money to pay the while to purchase the products. Then at that moment, the customer may require the credit facility. Though the retailer is also offer some credit facilities to the customers, and also the retailer is act like as a bridge between the customer and the company. So it is the duty of the retailer to take the consumer feedback. Why? Because the retailer is the only one means of the distribution function who is having a face-to-face interaction with the customers. So during this process, he may be asked the customers how the product is performing, how the product is benefiting to you. So these feedback he may be carry out to company, and this will information will helps to the company to innovate or improve the product or to add many more features for the better improvement of the product. And also has to choose the store location. The retailer is going to be keep his retail shop in the best location. Why? Because the location is also a very critical factor in making a sales of the product. So if the retailer wants to establish his retail store at any place where the customers may not access to his retail store, means the company may lost the sales of their product. That's the reason the retailer has to act very wisely while choosing his location to establish his retail store. Then only it is possible to make more and more sales of the products of the companies. And the retailer need to develop a consumer orientation selling philosophy. Why? Because the retailer is the always is having a direct touch with the final customers. So here the customer expectations are always at a higher end. So the retailer need to be fulfill the customer expectations to the possible extent. Why? Because the company product image or the company brand image may be influenced by the retailer act of selling or the retailer way of behavior in selling the products. So that the retailer must always have with smile and consumer orientation selling philosophy. Then only the the product sales may be improved. Ultimately, the company or the product brand will get a good image. Then the retailer is also present some visual merchandising. Because all the times the retailer may not place all kind of products in his inventory due to the characteristic of the particular product. Then he maybe shows that particular products to the customers by visualizing them, and immediately he maybe take the order. At the same time, he is going to be make the display of the products so that the customers may focus attention and there is a chance to purchase the products. So that's the reason the retailer must make a good display about the products also to improve the company product sales. And another one is at last, the retailer must apply some sales promotion techniques also. What are those sales promotion techniques? Means he whatever the company may be use to the retailer to transfer to the customers. For example, like discount benefit, premium benefit, or cashback offers or gifts. These kind of offers, whatever the company wants to be transferred to the customers directly, need to be transferred through the retailer only. The retailer need to be explained time to time to their customers, whatever the product sales promotion offers are being given by the company, then the customers are going to be purchase the products and they are more happy about the products. And also the retailer is also become a part of the customer relation management policy of the company. Why? Because the company is interested to apply the customer relationship management policy, then the retailers is make a part of it, and the retailers are going to be establish a long term relationship and satisfactory relationship with their customers. So for that, the always the retailers are going to be use and apply more and more customer friendly approaches while selling their products to the customers. So these are the functions what normally the customer the retailers are going to be used. The retailer is always going to be a very cordial and very friendly oriented, and the retailer need to be a customer friendly. When the retailer is not having this customer friendliness, and when the retailer is not going to be entertain or explain the company policies, company philosophies, company offers, the customers offer over a bit time, when they come to know that this offer is given by the company but the retailer is not given, means there is a chance to lose the sales of that particular product. So as well as the retailer is going to be make the damage to the product image or the brand image. And here, in the process of understanding the retail functions, it is very important to understand the retail management decision process also. Why? Because the retail management is a process that evaluates the elements involved in a retail sale to increase the positive results. So the ultimately the company sales are going to be depends on the retailer activities also. So in the process of that, the retail management decision process is very important. Then what are the steps we are having in this particular retail management decision process? So the first one is we need to be understand the environment. The first step in retail management decision process is to understand the environment about the world of retailing. So what the particular retailing means, and what are the factors affecting the retail environment, especially the macro environment and the micro environment. Macro means broad environmental factors like economic factors, social factors, technological factors, legal factors, social factors, political factors, ethical factors. So these all are macro environment factors, and what is the impact of these factors on our retailing activity, and what is the impact of these factors on consumer purchasing behavior. So these are the retailer must have an idea about these factors and its influence and impact on the retailing activities. And apart from this macro environment factors, he also must understand the micro environmental factors. The micro environmental factors is also one important activity, that is nothing but the competitors, customers and competitors. Why? Because he is always face a competition with his competitive products, and also he is regularly touch with the customers. So they are very macro level. Micro level means they are in and around them only. So he need to be understand the competitors activities, competitors promotional techniques, and the customers purchasing behavior also. They, what are the changes are coming in the consumer behavior also. When he is having a good understanding about the changes happening in the customer's behavior, and also taking places of different techniques and promotional techniques and product changes on their competitors, then he is going to be understand the environment effectively, and which is going to be helps to take a decision very easily. That is the first step, understanding the environment. And the second one is developing a retail strategy. After understanding the marketing environment, we need to move to the developing a retail strategy. So after what is this understanding the retail, developing a retail strategy means here the while developing a retail strategy, the retailer need to be focused on three three efforts, three things. What are they? First one, the target market towards which the retailer will direct his efforts. Means what, who are his target audience, who are his target customers, what is his target market. The second one is what is the nature of the merchandise or product or service. What is the nature of the product or service. Third one is building a long term advantage over its competitors. While developing a retail strategy, he need to be considered three things. He need to be focused about the three things. One is the what is the target market, who are his target customers. Second one is what is the nature of the product and service, and the third one is how to build a long-term relationship with the customers. So here, when you understand and when you know that who are your target customers, then only it is very easy to explain how best our product is going to be benefit them. And based on the nature of the product, you can also decide who is your target customers. And by when you know these two issues very clearly, when you have a authority on who are your target audience and how your product is going to be benefit your target customers, then easily it is very easy to the retailer to establish a long-term positive relationship with the customers to compete his competitor. To compete his competitors, he need to be develop a very strong retail strategy by knowing his target customers and by understanding his the product and service characteristics very effectively. After understanding the environment, after developing a retail strategy, the third stage we need to be move is implementation of the retail strategy. Why? Because only developing the retail strategy is not important. It is also important how best we are going to be execute that retail strategy. So the next stage of the retail management strategy is to execute. So how you are going to be implemented the retail strategy is also equally important of the developing the retail strategy. So for implementation, the retailer has to develop the appropriate retail mix which satisfy the needs of the market better than its competitors. Then here, what is the retail mix? Like we are studied in marketing management, product mix, promotion mix, place mix. Like this, in this retail management, we need to be understand what is retail mix. Why? Because when you understand the retail mix, then only it is very easy to implement your retail strategy effectively. So what is retail mix means? Retail mix is the set of decisions that retailers make to satisfy consumer needs and influence their buying behavior. Set of decisions. What kind of decisions the retailer is going to take to satisfy the customer in the way of satisfying the needs of the customers by influencing the customer behavior, by influencing the consumer. So the retailer decisions must be influencing the customer and make the customer to purchase his product. So these decisions are going to be includes like services, what he is going to be offered, and the pricing strategies and communication mix. Always more than, if for example, sometimes the merchandise pricing and services offered may be standardized, but the communication, the way he communicating with the customer maybe influence him and make them to purchase the product. So always he need to be develop a good communication to promote the sales. Why? Because if suppose whenever the customer came and he maybe asked how are you and how the things are going on, and something. If suppose he has shown some concern, and if he is always with a smiling face, and that makes the customer some kind of positive towards retailer, and that leads to that leads to make a purchase of the products. So in this way, the customer needs to be develop a retail management decision process by understanding the market environment. And after understanding the market environment, he need to be develop a strong retail strategy. And after developing the retail strategy, he need to be execute that particular retail strategy to make the sales of the product to compete the competitors. So this is about retail management decision process. And now we try to understand how the retailing concept has evolved in India, and what are the trends are taking place in India. So in the India, the retailing industry is one of the main pillar for the Indian economy. Please, I am reiterating once again that for the Indian economy, the retailing industry is one of the main pillar. Why? Because the retailing industry is itself contributing 15% of the GDP. 15% of the GDP is being contributing to the Indian economy, the retail industry. The retail industry is contributing 15% of the GDP. So that's the reason we can understand how strong the retail industry is in our India. And the retail concept is not new to India. Why? Because it is as old as the India is there. The retail concept is also there in India. Why? Because now we are being experiencing the malls and all other big shoppings. But in the olden days, still we find in villages, if you go and see that mom and pop stores. Why? Because wherever, if suppose in the olden days, just 30-40 years back, also in every village, we used to find some little retail kirana stores. So here, the India is not new to this retailing concept. The India is having these retail stores during in the as old as the civilization has taken place in this particular India, and more prominently the what we called even the governments is also established the retail stores in India to distribute some products through the government, that is called in the name of public distribution systems. In during 1939, the government has started this particular public distribution system, so to distribute some of the products to their Indians to offer with some low prices. That was is also comes under the retailing only. And even in the liberalization also, we have seen that so many retail industry has undergone a rapid transformation, and radical change has taken place. So during this particular economy after liberalization, why? Because just yesterday only we have seen that the government of India is announced Bharata Ratna for the architect of the new economic reforms, then Prime Minister Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao Garu. And after this post-liberalization period, the Indian economy has opened to a private and global players, and so many new industries has entered into the retail industries also. So the new middle class segment is also emerged with high increasing purchasing power, and the demand for the new products and value for the money is increased. So the Indian consumer developed an attitude to purchase the more products and better shopping experiences, and these factors are led to improve and increase the retailing sector and evolving more and more in India. And after this, the changing role of women and family structure, and changing financial structure, that is nothing but increasing credit facilities and IT revolution and the geographical dispersion of market potential, all made to bring a big revolution in India. And now we are seeing so many big players like we have seeing supermarkets, we are experiencing hypermarkets, we are experiencing discount stores, convenience stores, highway retailing stores, and even malls also. So like this, the retailing has been evolved in India from since age old days to the modern present days. And who are going to play a major role in Indian retail sector? And as we know that in everywhere we are seeing so many uh, retail stores like DMart, Big Bazaar, and Reliance, Shopper Stop, So like that, who are the major giant giants in the retail sector, and what kind of role they are going to play in the retail market means the first one is the Future Group. Future Group is the first and largest independent retail group led by the entrepreneur Mr. Kishore Biryani, and he is the first person who brought retail into the corporate look, and he established the Big Bazaar, and it was made a big change in the retail sector. And he was introduced like future bazaars, food halls, and Easy Day, and like that he was conducted so many retail stores. And the next player is Shopper Stop, and it is belonging is to the Raheja Group, and this Shopper Stop is also engaged, especially in clothing, accessories, handbags, shoes, fragrance, cosmetics, health and beauty products. And these people are running like Shopper Stop, Crossword, Home Stop, Brio, Hypercity, Inorbit, and Mother Care. And the third player is the Reliance Retail. And now we know that the impact of the Reliance in Indian business sector, the Reliance people also entered into the retail sector. The Reliance Retail Group is belongs in the Reliance industry, and they have come up with like Reliance Footprint, Reliance Digital, Reliance Jewels, Reliance Time Out, and Reliance Markets, and these people are also playing a vital role in the Indian retail sector. And the fourth one is the Aditya Birla, and these Aditya Birla is also a largest fashion retail chain in India, and these stores are includes like Pantaloons, Madura Fashions, and Lifestyles. And these people are also playing a very good role in retail sector. And apart from this, we have Tata Group, and these people are running the retail chains under the name of Chroma, Titan, Landmark, Starbucks, Tanishq, West Side, Star Bazaar. And Landmark Group is also holding the brands like Lifestyle, Center Point, Baby Shop. And another retail player is the RPG Group. RPG Groups are running like Spencer's Book and Music World. And Pyramidal Group is also making some sense in the retail sector, in Indian retail sector. And these people are running Pyramid Mega Store, Pyramid Supermarkets, and ITC is also having 600 retail stores on the its own name, ITC. And Godrej is also are running some 850 retail outlets, and Avenue Supermarket and DMart is also making a significant impact in the Indian retail sector. And apart from these physical stores, we are also having electronic retailing in India. In the recent times, the e-tailing, electronic retailing is also called as the e-tailing. The e-tailing is also emerged as a fast-growing retail format in India. And e-tailing means selling of goods and services on retail through internet. So here, this it is a part of e-commerce, and also known as like online retailing or B2C or online shopping. Why? Because nowadays, even if suppose we need any a single product also, like if suppose earlier monthly once we go to a kirana store or we go to a supermarket and do shopping for the groceries, whatever we required for a family. But nowadays, if suppose whenever we want and just we are doing on online shopping, and we are getting the products to our home only. So even food products also we are getting through Swiggy and Zomato, and even Reliance Digital and Flipkart, Amazon. Like there are so many online platforms are there which are going to be deliver the required products. So Amazon, Flipkart are the major retailing giants in India. And if suppose even simple, if suppose I want some cosmetics and I want some accessories, I want some books, and just we can go to the Flipkart and book, and within next depends on the availability, and they are going to be delivered from 15 minutes to some 2 days, 3 days. So Flipkart is started selling books online, and it is emerged as the top 20 Indian web retailers. And it is also going to be sold some electronic goods, so CDs, DVDs, music, movies, games, whatnot, everything, including cameras, computers. And even the Amazon is also, it is going to make a significant difference in the Indian retail market. And it is also selling so many different products from home groceries to, and different products also, like a variety of products and services in online in India. And then when you see the Indian retail market, apart from this, there are, we discussed so many opportunities in the Indian retail sector. But keeping beside of that, we are also having some challenges in retail sector. What are those challenges in Indian retailing sector? The first one is retail is not yet recognized as an industry in India. The government is not recognized retailing as an industry. So what is happening means lack of such recognition is going to hamper the availability of finances and other benefits to the new entries. If suppose I want to start one company, one retail kirana store, and getting finance is becoming a very difficult. And the second challenge is slow adoption of the technology. The retail sector is adopting technology very slowly. So the technology is going to be used, then it is become more competitive and more energetic. And the retail sector slowly it is adopting techniques like RFID technology and CRM technology and ERP technologies. But if we are going to be used in a big way, definitely the retail sector is going to uh, a boom in the India. And we are also having lack of infrastructure. The infrastructure and the logistics is one of the major hurdle for the growth of the retail sector. Why? Because still India is developing its infrastructure, and during last 20 years onwards, the governments are focused on developing infrastructure throughout India. But still, moving from one place to another place is the biggest task. Why? Because the India is the rural India. So the insufficient infrastructure and logistics is resulting more and more insufficient processes. The cold storage infrastructure facilities are making damages to some of the products like vegetables and medicines, and these all are the things need to be improved in India. And another major hurdle is we are having a lack of shortage of skilled workforce. Because skilled workforce are required to handle different kind of operations, but we do not have sufficient skilled force. But so many universities and so many institutions are coming up to start a new courses in retail sector, and even we are offering PG diploma in retailing courses, and so many institutions also coming up PG diploma in retailing sector. And hope so in near future we may provide more number of skilled people for the developing the retail sector in India. And another major hurdle is delivering the right product at right time at right place is very very important in the retailing. But in India, due to the supply chain system is not effective and efficient, we are unable to meet the demands. So that need to be overcome. Why? Because we need to be deliver the right product to the right customer to the right time at low cost. Then only it is profitable to the company, and we need to be overcome this particular hurdle. And another one is we need to be the retail markets. Organized retailers are facing a tough competition from the unorganized retail kirana stores. The retail sector is facing a major challenge from the unorganized retailers. Why? Because if suppose already I told you the India is the place of mom and pop kirana stores. So every village we find one or two kirana stores which are going to be cater the needs of the small needs of the villagers. So those people maybe make the purchases from that particular retail stores, kirana stores only. But that is becoming a bigger challenge and a great challenge for the growth of the retail sector in India. And these organized retailers are incurring high cost of operations, and that is going to be lead to increase the price of the product, and so that that is also another hurdle for the growth of the retail sector in India. And we need to be uh, these online companies also a threat from the organized retailers. Why? Because these companies are providing goods to the customers at the doorsteps, but offering huge discounts and low prices. The online retailers are offering home delivery services and discount promotional discount benefits, and also they are offering the products at lowest cost. But whereas the physical retail stores are going to face a tough competition from the e-tail retailers or the online retailers. And the big retail outlets are require high volume of electricity for lighting, air conditioning, escalators, cold storage, lift, billing, and these all are going to be increase the operational cost, and this is going to be effect on profit of that particular company, and ultimately it is going to be create some problems to satisfy the customers. And these are the some restrictions and problems and challenges are there in the Indian retail sector, and these need to be overcome for growth of the Indian retail sector. And when the Indian retail sector is taken into the consideration, and we can be classify this retailing industry in different types, and we can be classify the retail units based on nature of ownership, based on operational structure, based on length and depth of merchandise, based on nature of service, based on pricing policy, based on the retail location, and based on the customer interaction. When you are going to be take majorly, the retailers are going to be classified based on the ownership. So here, ownership means the first sole proprietorship. Sole proprietor means the majority of the small businesses are start out as sole proprietorship. These firms are owned by only one person, and usually the individual who is going to be operate the day-to-day operations, and he is the responsible for the whole business. These kind of retail stores are comes under the sole proprietorship. And partnership. Partnership retail stores means commonly the business activities on small and or medium scale, and here two or more people are going to be share the ownership on single business. And joint venture. Joint venture is nothing but here here, joint ventures are incorporated or established as a firm as evidenced by a deed, or joint ventures may be taxed like association of persons, sometimes at maximum marginal rates. Means here, some people are going to be come together and they are going to be establish one company as a joint venture. And public or private limited companies means here some people are going to be established limited liability companies, means it is nothing but some public company or a private company. So based on the ownership, these are the four types we are going to be categorized the retail stores. If you want to be categorized or classify the retailers based on the operational structure, based on the operational structure, then we can be categorized as an independent retail unit or independent retailers. Independent retailers means usually these retailers are very small and found in all lines of trade and in all communities. Means he may be a young man, fresh graduate, and starting his own business, and he is going to be run this particular retail store. So he is independent in for his all operations. And next, retail chain. Means here, if you observe that some companies, they are going on establishing their retail stores in different places. Like we may be experiencing that Bata shoe shops. It means they are going to be established their retail stores in every different geographical locations, and this is called Bata retail chain. And even we maybe find out HMT watch shops or McDonald restaurants, and these all comes under the retail chains. And third one is limitations of uh, franchising. Franchising means a franchising operation is a legal contractual relationship between a franchisor and the franchisee. Then what do you mean franchisor? Franchisor means the company who is offering the franchise. Franchisee means the individual who is going to own the business. So here, the individual who cannot invest more amount of money, and he is not going to operate in a large kind of operations, then he is going to be take the franchisee from the famous branded company, and he is going to be use their products, standardized products, and he is going to be run his business on the name of that particular franchise company. Then leased department or shop in shop means this is nothing but a leased department, which is also known as a shop in shop or store in store. Means it is a section of a department in a retail store. Means like for example, in a mall, different people are going to be established their own stores, and they use it to make sold of their products. So here, this person is going to be providing a store space to outside party is known as a this is a lease department. Means within the shop, some space is going to be given a lease to some other people to sold their particular company their products. And another one is departments in India. So in India, leisure department means this is also one of the emerging trend, and most of the renowned retail chain, like if suppose you see in the malls, residential complexes, and PVR multiplexes, and we have seen uh, so many bus terminals, railway stations, metro stations, airports, and national highways. And there are so many retail chains are being operating their retail stores in these particular places by taking on lease based. So the reason why this kind of establishment is required means the popularity of that particular place or popularity of that particular business. So when normally the customers, whoever comes over to that particular place or the business, maybe comes into our product also. And last one is the cooperative outlet. Cooperative outlets are generally owned and managed by cooperative societies. So here, consumer cooperatives aim at providing essential commodities at cheap cost. As a national policy, the shopper cooperatives are inspired and developed as a democratic establishment and managing and controlled by its own members. So we maybe see like Khadi Gramodyog, and they are running under the cooperative societies, and they are going to make offer the khadi clothes for at a cheaper rate to their customers. And these are the different classifications based on the operational structures. And if you want to classify the retailers based on the retail location, and we can be classify them as retailers in a freestanding location. Freestanding location means this retail site is not connected to other retailers, and it is quietly independently operate their store operations. This is called retailers in a freestanding location. For example, you can see example like as a Haldiram's outlet on Delhi Jaipur highway, and McDonald's outlet on Delhi Ludhiana highway. These all are completely independent, and these do not have any access to any other retail store and somebody else, and these people will be operate on their operations on their own. And retailers in a business associated location means here the retailer is going to be locate his store in a place where a group of retail outlets offering a variety of merchandise, and along with them, these people also together selling their products. These are the retailers are called as a retailers in a business associated location. And next, retailers in a specialized markets. For example, we have some specialized markets, particularly some traditional independent retailers or chain stores are going to be run these kind of specialized markets, famous for particular product category. And airport retailing. Airport retailing means for sometimes we are going to for quite some time duty free shops or new stands dominated the small amount of commercial space provided at airports. Why? Because in the airports also the visitors or the commuters, people maybe required some small needs during their travel time. So the serious efforts are being made to design a new airport facilities in order to incorporate substantial amounts of retail space to cater the needs of the people who are going to be visit the airports also. And this is about the classification based on the location. Next, we can also classify the retailers based on the merchandise offered. So first one, departmental stores. Normally we heard so many times the word departmental store. A departmental store is a large scale retail shop where a large variety of goods are sold in a single building. In a single building, the entire building is divided into number of departments and counters. In each department, some specific types of goods are going to be sold. For example, Shopper Stop in Delhi, Spencer's in Chennai, and Kids Jump in Bangalore are some of the examples for the departmental stores. And discount stores. Discount stores means these are the also large stores freely open to the public and advertising widely. And these people are going to be sold their products on discount rates. And specialty stores. Specialty store refers to a store that stores a particular type of merchandise or a single product of durable goods like furniture, household goods, consumer electronics. These kind of products where they are going to be sold, called as a specialty stores. For example, like Proline Fitness Station and Gautier Furnitures. These are the examples for the specialty stores. And supermarkets. So this is a very common name, common word among all Indians. So supermarket is become very familiar. Supermarkets are usually characterized by large, low cost, low margin, high volume, self service markets. Means here the customers need to roam during around the supermarket places, and they want to select the products whatever they want. Here you don't find any sales representatives to explain about the products. So these kind of markets are going to be called as a supermarkets. Here we can be remind the Philip Kotler definition about the supermarket. The supermarket may be defined as per the Philip Kotler is a departmentalized retail establishment having four basic departments. They are self-service grocery, meat, produce, and dairy plus other household departments, and doing a maximum business. It may be entirely owner operated, or have some of the departments leased on a concession basis. So this is a definition given by the Philip Kotler for the supermarket. And we also have hypermarkets. Hypermarket means it is derived from a French word hypermarche, and these hypermarkets uh, are substitutable with one stop looking. Means these stores are sometimes have the most affordable cost, and they nearly always have their own gas station on the positioning. And for example, hypermarkets in India means Giant, Big Bazaar, and Star India Bazaars are the most suitable examples for the hypermarkets. And last, convenience stores. Convenience stores means which are very much convenient to the consumers, and they are very easily accessible by the customers. Like they are convenience stores are established in the near residential areas, and they are open for long hours and throughout the week, and offering a limited variety of convenience products required to for the family to cater their needs and wants. This is about classification based on the retail merchandise offered. And now we can also classify the retailers based on the services. So classification based on the services means store based retailing, uh, consumer non-store based retailing, and mail order business, tele shopping, and e-retailing. And these all are the some of the different formats of retailers. And now, after classification of the retail stores, so we'll try to understand what are the emerging trends in the retail formats, especially in India. And we also seeing in day-to-day life, the one is mobile retailing or van retailing. Mobile van retailing means here this is a compromise between door to door selling and store selling. So in this type of retail business, the retailer keeps one day stock of his merchandise and goes on an area to serve its permanent customers. This is called mobile van retailing. And the next one is conference or event retailing. So in this sort of retailing, the retailer is going to be invite the people from nearby localities, and after describing positive aspects of the merchandise, and then he is going to be sell about his product. Means he is going to be invited to the people conferences or events, and then he is going to be promote his products, and if the customers are positive towards his product, he is going to be make the sales. For example, the people are going to be conduct events like on Mother's Day, Father's Day, Diwali, and they are going to be explain about their products on that particular events. And the third one is the distant retailing. In this distant retailing means, as the name suggests, the distant retailing, a customer place the order from a remote location by telephone, SMS, or internet instead of visiting the physical store. And then the retailers are going to be make the home delivery. And this is called a retail distant retailing. And forecourt retailing. This is one of the new emerging concept in the retailing sector. And here, the establishments of stores in front of large buildings of high traffic areas. Like this concept caught public attention with oil companies trying to allow private companies to set up convenience stores at their fuel stations. For example, in the retail fuel stations, we have seen retail mods, and also the HPCL company, IOC company, BPCL company are also offering their places to establish the new retail formats. Even if suppose now in the Hyderabad, we can see that the metro stations also trying to offer some retail space for some to establish the retail stores. And another one is the trade parks. So retailing through trade parks is a retail through a recent retail practice, and here this kind of practice is practiced only in metros and big cities. So here what happened means the business complexes are being set up for promotion of retail trade, especially the international trade. And some of examples in India are like Exposition Mart set up by Handicraft Export Promotion Council in Greater Noida, and International Home Deco Park set up by a group of private investors in Noida, and World Trade Park coming up in Jaipur. These all are the examples for the trade parks in India. And these are the different classifications and emerging trends of retailing sector in India. Yeah, we can end up today's session with this information about retailing, and next we can continue in next session. And any more questions, you can. Yes, please. Please respond. The participants can may ask the questions. Yes. If no questions, we may take the leave for today's session, and we will meet in the next session. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
so
much.
much, sir. Thank you so
Yes.
much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.